And we welcome you inside the McCarthy Athletic Center now. They're announcing the starting lineups. Inside here, they're starting with Gonzaga. Of course, we'll start with Southern Utah, the road team. Played in the Summit League a year ago, now in the Big Sky. We take a look at their starting lineups. Jackson Stevenette, Wade Colley, Damon Heyer, Jaron Jeffrey, and Jason Cheeseman. They've got some veterans, some seniors on this team, but boy, it really drops off. They're awfully young after that.
Well, they have two guys that are returning starters in Stevenette and Hewer. After that, it's guys who didn't play a lot of minutes last year. So for those guys, it's an opportunity early in the season to get their feet wet and really prove to the first-year coach that they've got what it takes to play big minutes this season. Yeah,
their head coach, Nick Robinson, played at Stanford. He's in his first season as the head coach, as Dan said, at Southern Utah. I'm sure you two remember Nick Robinson. This team was 14-17 a year ago, 8-10 in the Summit League. And now the starters for Gonzaga look like this. Pangos, Bell Jr., the sophomore guards for head coach Mark Few, Guy Landry Eddy, a senior, Elias Harris, a senior, Sam Dower, the junior, getting the start at the 5 position. Richard, this has been called guard U at time. It kind of overshadows the great post players. And once again, we've kind of got a team. All this talk about these great guards, but the strength of this core may be the post players.
Well, I think it's because consistently GU's had great guards, and those bigs have come and gone. But we go back to history of this program, the best teams they've had have had that balance inside, outside. And I think this team has a lot of those characteristics as well.
And Dan, I know you had some players when you played here, you could go inside out. Mark Few's got those guys again.
Well, the best teams have a great combination of inside and outside scoring. But you've got to have guys, when it comes to crunch time, that can create their own shot, but more importantly, make their own shot.
Southern Utah winning the tip, and they'll start us on offense. This is Damon Heyer. His shot attempt for 3 is short, cleared by Harris. And back comes Kevin Pangos. Transition 3, that one's off. May have been touched by the defender. Damon Heyer, a senior out of Townsville, Australia, number 3. Here's a quick shot by Colley, that's off. And Eddy the rebound. Here's Dower's first touch. Spins, left hand, rolls off. And rebounded by Jeffrey.
A great early possession right there. Sam had great patience on the low block, let that semi-double team clear, and went to work, just couldn't finish the shot.
This is Chessman. Jump hook, baseline, our first bucket.
Chessman can play, and he's going to take it right at Dower. Whoever's guarding him has good size, 6'11", 250 pounds. Honorable mention all-league last year in junior college. Big things expected from him from that staff at Southern Utah.
Pangos left-hand lay-in. Ties us at 2.
That's a great job of just coming off that ball screen, probing, seeing if the guard or the big is truly going to hedge, turn the corner, get to the basket.
This is Stevenette driving on Eddy, got into the lane, shot off, wild one. Harris had the rebound. Jeffrey picked it up, but then traveled.
And expect some sloppiness, fellas, offensively for Southern Utah. Didn't have an exhibition game this year or scrimmage. Just focused on themselves, and with the new staff, you can understand why. But you can see right away, not as organized offensively as you might see GU here early in the game after playing an exhibition against Texas down in Colorado, and obviously against Nazarene, the game we called a couple weeks ago.
What I'm noticing right away is the Thunderbirds are matching Gonzaga's energy. This is Gonzaga's home opener, and right now the energy is even, it seems to me.
Well, Coach Robinson, when he was at Stanford, was as hard-nosed a guy as I played against in college. Played against him twice down in Oakland. And that
look at him now. Look at him. He looks intense.
Aging better than I am, that's for sure, too. But that you can, you know, teams.
He's really 52. Pangos for 3.
You know, teams take the characteristic of their staff and their head coach, and you see it right away, like you said, Chris. 31, buddy, 31, come on.
Sorry for going there so early in the game. Heyer lost the handle, tipped around by Jeffrey. Loose ball, picked up by Colley. He'll shoot it from beyond the elbow, and it's a 5-4 game.
Those are those 50-50 balls. If Southern Utah can get those and score off them, it's going to give them a chance to stay in this game for a while.
Eddie draws our first personal foul of the game.
And right away, I think you see it. And it's, you know, only first couple minutes into the ball game, but that's where you miss a guy like Rob at times, is those 50-50 plays, gets on the ground, and often the ball never gets to that point. Who steps up? You know, Kevin can do it from the point guard spot to some degree, but it's got to be one of those bigs who just kind of takes that mentality of that toughness. Hey, that ball's mine. I'm going to get that. We're going to move it forward down the floor. We saw it in exhibition. We've seen some of it in practice, fellas. Those loose balls, 50-50 plays, you've got to make sure you come up with those.
One of the things Rob Sacre did so well last year was he wasn't a great rebounder per se, but he kept his guy off the glass from getting the ball, creating opportunities for his teammates.
Pangos with the offensive rebound. Bell with the three from the corner. It's 9-4. That foul was on Jackson Stevenette, his first, team's first.
Gonzaga showing a little 1-2-1-1 three-quarter court pressure.
Deflection by Harris. Higher into the lane. Hangs and hits. Nice looking bucket. Damon Higher. Averaged 11 points a game a year ago. Dower deep on the post. Missed it. Kind of rushed that one, Richard?
Yeah, rushed it a bit. Got the defender on your back. Your work's done. Take your time. Make sure you finish at your own pace. Rushed it.
Jeffrey somehow throws it in off the glass.
I'll tell you what, if you were expecting Southern Utah to come out nervous and intimidated, we haven't seen any of that.
No, not at all.
They're here to play.
Zags maybe getting more of a test here early on than they thought. Here's Dower for three. So, Dan, are you surprised that we've seen 3 3-pointers already for Gonzaga?
Not at all. With Coach Few, if you're open and you've got the ability to knock it down, let it fly. You've got everybody on this floor right now, with except the possibility of Guy Landry Eddy, is going to have freedom to take that three-pointer this year.
Harris with the defense and the run out and the flush.
Great early activity and intensity on both ends of the floor for Gonzaga right now.
The 6-point game. Stevenette spinning and travel. Eddie with the defense. 14-8, 15-54 to play first half. Elias Harris with the steal and the finish at the other end. We'll be right back. Time now for tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Dan, what are they?
Well, I think Gonzaga needed to come out and hit first, be the aggressor on both ends of the floor, and they've done that tonight. They've gotten in passing lanes, they've pushed the ball in transition, and they've found guys.
And not just for tonight, but for throughout the year. Clean the glass, protect your defensive backboard, create some second chance opportunities offensively. That's quietly been a staple of this program. 17 straight years of out-rebounding opponents. That's something they want to continue to do this year.
Zag fans, Northern Quest Luck and Luxury Package includes your room, a $20 gaming credit, and a $20 spa credit starting at just $119. Visit northernquest.com. Restrictions apply. David Stockton on the floor for GU now, along with Shemek Karnowski. If you haven't seen him play yet, you're going to like this kid. Missed with the left hand, got it back. And back to Stockton. There's Harris, open. Corner three, long, tipped out by Bell. And it's run down by number 44, Julian Scott, for the Thunderbirds. And this is Jordan Johnson, number 25, with it.
We talk about so much of the depth of Gonzaga this year is in the front court, but don't forget about playing 2 and sometimes 3-guard lineups with David Stockton, Kevin Pangos, and Gary Bell, because they're all smart basketball players.
Yeah, I think the staff loves this lineup out on the perimeter with those 3, like you mentioned, Dan. All 3 can play with each other. They can all handle it and create offense for other guys or themselves. Dynamic perimeter play there.
Higher off of the shot. There's Karnowski. 7 feet, 305 pounds, and running the floor.
Off a missed basket, sprints down the middle of the floor, the gut of the floor, and a nice play from your point guard looking up ahead.
That was great on both guards and bigs. Bigs run the floor, unlike Richard could do years ago. David Stockton really put that ball on the money.
Wow, fellas, it's only
early.
game one. Come on now.
Julian Scott, double team comes. Bell knocked it away, and it's knocked out of bounds. Possession stays with Southern Utah with 13 on the shot clock. Poor Richard. Hey, Shemick got a haircut, gentlemen.
Yeah, looking
high
slim.
and tight.
Yeah.
It's almost Marine-like here on Veterans Weekend. Johnson lost the handle. GU on a 7-0 run.
You see,
and 4 turnovers now for Southern Utah.
I was just going to say that, Greg. 4 turnovers. They haven't played yet against anybody else. And then on top of that, they're here at GU, one of the better venues on the West Coast. And you can see they're playing fast. Right now, the game is moving a little too quickly. And a lot of those turnovers have just been on, unforced errors. Right there, dribbling off your leg or traveling in traffic. It's going to take a few minutes for Southern Utah to settle down.
Stockton drives. And a nice finish.
That's an underrated skill for guards, being able to get into the rim, but finish. Some of the better players at that guard position are that way because they can finish.
Bell takes it away. From Cal Hanks. Stockton. Harris blocked, but a foul called. Foul will be on number 44, Julian Scott, his first, team second.
Well, you like the effort defensively if you're the coaching staff for GU. You've already turned over Southern Utah five times. You've done a nice job on the glass, only giving up 1 offensive rebound here to a team that's shooting 7 of 12, or pardon me, 4 of 8. So I think on that end of the floor, things are getting there a lot more quickly than they are on the offensive end. And as a coach, you expect that, don't you, to some degree, Dan? I mean, the defense usually comes first.
Yeah, defensively is always going to be the focus early on in the season because so much of your emphasis is going to be getting guys to play hard. The offense typically takes care of itself.
There's Musenka. He lost the handle, and back comes Stockton. Stockton missed the lay-in. A.J. Hess was there to contest that shot, and Hess has it back. Got to give Southern Utah credit. They're still playing hard.
Oh, yeah.
Jump shot. That rattles in. Jackson Stevenet. Stevenet's first points of the game, averaged 15 a year ago.
Second team All-Summit League, led him in points, rebounds, started the only player coming back that started in all the games last year. A lot expected of him, and you saw right there, tough shot on the baseline. Nice move.
Actually, I gave him a point last year. He's at 14.1. I always round up. I don't know about you guys.
I do the same. I
do it with my bank account, too. That bucket ended a 3-minute and 41-second drought offensively for Southern Utah. There's Bell. Drives, hangs, hits.
That right there is going to be a very important shot for Gary Bell this year. He's got the 3-point shot. He can finish at the rim, but what does he do in that mid-range? If he can get that little floater kind of game down, it's going to be a very tough cover for opposing teams.
You had that down, Dan. You like that little floater.
Well, it's hard to guard, you know. One dribble in, pick it up. Big doesn't fully commit, loft it right up over the top.
He needs to do that. You look at his year last year, as good as he was, you wonder how much more could he have scored. Only shot the ball double digits in 5 games. And I think he's got that in him. Hopefully this year he's more aggressive and assertive on the offensive end.
Gary Bell picking up Gonzaga's first foul. That shot's long by A.J. Hess. Stockton the long rebound, and now on the move. Karnowski dribbles through his shoulder and finishes with the left hand. Gentlemen, he's got the left and the right. He's a freshman. He's barely, he's not even 19 years old yet.
He's got a lot to learn, too, which is the scary thing. Took his time, and the teams right now aren't going to double him as David commits the foul. Oh, pardon me, offensive foul on Southern Utah.
Yeah, Chris Musenki.
You know, that's one thing that's going to be very important for Gonzaga is David Stockton coming in, changing the tempo of the game, getting up, picking up defensively, and really creating problems. Right there, you see it. It's probably the 3rd or 4th time he's done that in tonight's game. Create problems, good things happen.
And what I like about David and Kevin being out there at the same time is it gives Kevin a break with handling the ball, trying to deal with that ball pressure, because he's so good both on the ball but also working off the ball.
No look pass, Dower, short, rebounded